Hey, what's going on, everyone? Cardboard.Capitan here, and I got an email today about how YouTube is doing some dubbing to other languages, and I remember watching a video this past week entirely in Japanese, but it was dubbed and translated into English. So, if you speak a different language, let me know how that goes. If you can make sense of what I'm saying, do leave a comment in the description below, because I think that's pretty cool. So today I want to share this Rakdos Cantor deck. Now, the primary version you'll see a lot of people play is just a straight mono black Cantor deck, but I have a couple of issues with that. For one, the plain Cantor deck, it's mono black, so traditionally the weakness of mono black is it doesn't have answers to enchantments or artifacts. Now, with cards like Feed the Swarm, enchantments are less of a problem, but that's something to keep in mind. Also, worth noting, it's not too strong versus Graveyard Hate, so since I primarily play best of 3, that's something I have to consider with Ghost Vacuum and Soul Guide Lantern in the format. Finally, it's a very all-in style of deck, so you just drop your cards as efficiently as you can and hope you win. But if they have, say, a board wipe or a creature to wall your creatures in, that makes it much more difficult to win. So with this Rakdos version, I noticed a nice overlap with some of the Kavu cards, like notably Possibility Technician. Now, Possibility Technician, first off, it has warp, so it can bring in Cantors from the graveyard, but it also likes to exile cards from the top of your library and play them. Now, you can increase the number of cards you can play from the top of your library with other Kavus with Mind Security, and there aren't too many Kavus in the format, but worth noting is Changelings count as Kavus, so that was another piece of the puzzle. Also, since Changeling's count is every type of creature, I decided to try Unholy Annex with it. This is a combo I saw other people playing way back when, but it gives you some reach, so you can play it like a slide deck in that you swing in with a bunch of creatures in the beginning, and as the opponent builds up their defenses, you either win through direct damage, which is the life drain, or you can swing in with a giant 6/6 demon. But everything put together, it made the deck that, in the past few days, I feel like I've been having a lot of success with. So let me go over, the basic idea of it real quick. You got early beats with Cantor, Runeblade Razor, and Cecil. I feel like Cecil should be 2 or 3 though, but I only have 1. But it's definitely not a 4/0 just because it's legendary. I also want to give a shout out to Desperate Measures. Now, I'll be playing this in the video after this of the demonstration, but since Fuel Tank Feaster, Foundport Charmer, and other more defense cards have been creeping back in the meta, I feel like this isn't as good. Like, this was a great answer to Elves, to the Mobilize, a 1/1 Mobilize creature, as well as a way of responding to removal, but I haven't been seeing too much of those in the games I played, so I took this out, and I've been having a lot more success with my deck. With that said, 2 drops, you got Mind Security, makes a Flame Tongue Kavu, which it also triggers your Possibility Technician, so good synergy there. You also have a whole bunch of card draw with Annex and Technician, so even though the Flame Tongue Kavu gets randomly put into the top 10 cards of your library, you can reduce those odds 2 more in your favor. Let's see. Timeline Color, it's a 1-drop or 2-drop. Also has Warp and Haste. But I only kept it at 3 rather, just because it's not the best card to play at your 2 slot. At your 2 slot, you're probably doing a Song of Point Prime, Mind Security, or a tap land and a 1-drop. Or you warp in your Void Call Devotee. Let's see, Feeds a Swarm. It's probably one of the best options for removal right now. In black, it's sorcery though, so that's kind of a downside, but Authority of the Consuls is still being played, and you need a way to answer that removal. Or, not removal, that enchantment. And you can also use this to remove giant blockers in your way, notably the Green Shell, Charmers, and other things to help you push through damage. Annex draws you cards. It's not always your best 3-drop, but it's there if you play turn 2 3-tree Mascot. But it gets you card. It helps you with a control matchup. It also gives you a finisher through the Life Drain and the Demon. Lands, nothing too special to talk about. Just a whole bunch of black cards. So your land base is focused on black. Also worth noting, 3-tree Mascot can filter color 1 time per turn. So you don't always need to lose life from Starring Town. And your only red cards are Possibility Technician and Mind Security in your main board. Nothing red in the sideboard yet. So you have enough red, but you're never going to need double red. Sideboard, Ancient Vendetta, that's going to be for your Omniscience combo decks. I haven't seen a whole bunch of Omniscience in the past few days though, but it's a threat. Deathmark is so good right now. Takes out Fuel Tank Feaster, takes out Fountain Port Charmer, Green Shell, Mardu Thunderkite, that white creature, that 1/3 with Mobilize. It's so good right now. So I'm running it as 4 off. Plus it's efficient. It's just 1 black mana, so you can play this and then drop more creatures, apply more pressure to your opponent. Likewise, Intimidation Tactics, so good right now. Answers your Charmer, answers the Omen Dragons even before they come into play. So good. And again, 1 mana, very efficient. Ghost Vacuum. I haven't seen too many graveyard decks. I mean, of those that see play, maybe Straight Reanimator, I haven't seen too many, but that's definitely something to look out for. Unidex, haven't seen too many of those. So, keeping it there just in case. Likewise, Strategic Betrayal, I mean, maybe a 4th Timeline color might be good, but I'm leaving this up to you. Decide what you need the most, so this is just a flex slot. Okay, let's go to the gameplay now. Okay, I'm on to play first. No 1-drops, but I'm gonna keep it anyway, just because I have removal and I'm on to the play. Don't know what the opponent's playing just yet. Cantor tells me, okay, they're playing some sort of Cantor deck. So, I'm gonna get my Cantors started. I do have a decent hand. I can go a hard cast possibility technician, and then assuming I draw land turn 4, um, I can go mine security and 3 tree mascot and get 2 exile triggers off that. But instead, I'm going to set up my Cantor first. Okay, and got a lucky draw, drew a Cantor off the top of my deck. Okay, opponent hits my Cantor with a depressurize. So right now, pretty in a good position. Alright, so a lot of back and forth removal right now. Okay, so that's interesting. Opponent drops the planes. What I'm gonna do here, I want to bring back my Cantors through the warp of my technician, and since mine security is also a Kavu, I'm gonna exile something off the top of my deck. So I'm removing a bunch of lands off the top of my deck, which is excellent. And then womp womp, there goes trajectory, which is okay, because I can just play the technicians again. What's interesting about Possibility Technician is that the cards exiled, I guess they're marked that they were exiled by Possibility Technician. So when I play it here, I can pull back some of the lands as well as a new card in Runeblade Razor. Yeah. So I'm going to get 2 exile triggers here. 3 tree mascot counts as a Kavu, so it combos. Yeah. So, I mean, this round, Void Caller, Devotee, Timeline Color, plus a whole bunch of card advantage there. See, I thought about Ghost Vacuum here just because it's a Cantor deck, but the thing to note about Cantors is that they can't block. So I figure a stronger offense is better than trying to answer those Cantors, because they'll likely make more anyway. And also worth noting, Cantors are 2/1s, so they can be blocked by pretty much anything. So good curve here. I can go turn 1 Cantor, turn 2 3 tree mascot, turn 3 technician. Only downside is I do not have a basic land, so those Dragon Skull Summits will enter into play tapped. So because of that, I'm playing my Summit second, so that I could go a turn 3, just a regular cast Possibility Technician. Okay, so I cannot block this turn because Cantors can't block. And I thought about desperate measuring my own Cantor, but I'd rather just hard cast my technician here and just swing in with my Cantor, just so I have an answer for their Cantor. Now see, good play by my opponent, because if that technician was still alive, I got two Kavus in my hand. They're scarecrows, changelings, but they count as Kavus, so. I'm still able to play that exiled land though. But right now, feel pretty flooded. None of my technical cards are showing up. Okay, trajectory. So, you know, desperate measures kind of forced me to use that. And I do get some decent cards from it, but I feel it's a little too late. And so I'm gonna sequence this a bit weird. I'm gonna play Mind Security first. And then I'm hoping for a Flame Tongue Kavu off the top, but didn't get. So. Now, since I did see the bat, the black-white bat, I'm bringing in Deathmark, just because it's hard for me to block or otherwise answer, and so I want to get rid of it ASAP. I understand there's a bunch of black cards on the opponent's side, but you know, I'd rather have that should I need it. So I'm gonna start off trading 2 life for the opponent through Timeline Color. And I have a excellent hand that I'd say. Hilderblade's not gonna do much right now because I can start putting Cantors in my graveyard as well as beating their face in repeatedly. Okay, there's a sidekick. And then more Cantors. So I believe that's 2 now. Okay, and then sacrifice from their Point Prime. Okay. Take some damage. Okay, so here you get to see Desperate Measures shine. Sequenced it that way so they're forced to sacrifice their bat. But they have another sidekick, so. I'm down a land. While I could warp the Technician, I do want to have some to block the color. So fortunately I look out and get a swamp, and that allows me to warp color. I'm not going to swing in because they can just block with sidekick, but I do now have 3/1 Cantors. Okay, so They could equip the blade to their sidekick and swing in for 4, gaining them 4 life, but that would also cost them some tempo. So that's what they do. Take the hit. Okay, so good find. I'm gonna play my technician first, see if I get another land off the top. But realistically, it's down to about 1 or 2 more turns. Even if I swing in with everything, opponent can still block, and I won't kill them. So what I'm gonna do here, now looking back, it's kind of risky. Maybe I could have held back possibility technician and just stuck a whole lot of timeline colors next turn. But you know, they do drop a color. I can block 1. Which I'll do. And then I have lethal next turn, so good game, good game. And yeah. Alright, thanks for watching. You can find me on X under the username Cardboard.Capitan. You can find me on Moxfield, where you can find this deck and various other alchemy decks I enjoy playing under the username Cardboard_Capitan. And if you enjoyed the content, do like, do comment, do subscribe. I will see you all next time.